cities. Houses in cities and towns are usually pakka houses, which are strong and permanent. They are made of bricks, cement, wood, steel and glass. The walls of pakka houses are made of bricks and then plastered with a mixture of cement and sand. The roofs are made of concrete, asbestos or iron sheets. The floor is made of marble, wood, tiles or stones. Most of the pakka houses have all the modern facilities and proper drainage system. There is a lack of space in cities, so tall multi-story buildings are quite common. These buildings are called skyscrapers. Each floor of a skyscraper has many spacious houses called flats or apartments. Commercial skyscrapers have offices and hotels in them. Slums. Many people from villages come to cities in search of work. Many of them work as domestic helpers, rag pickers, mechanics, construction laborers, and factory workers. They cannot afford to live in a rented house or build their own house in the city. So, they make houses of whatever material they can gather and build shelters for their families in open spaces. Clusters of these shelters are called slums. Slums are built illegally and in an unplanned way and have no facilities for hygienic toilets, sewerage, drinking water, or electricity. These slums are breeding grounds for germs and pests like rats, flies, and mosquitoes. So, they are prone to the spread of dangerous diseases. Fire is also a major threat in these tightly packed areas. The government has made many attempts to provide low-cost housing with basic facilities for people living in slums. But it will take some time to provide safe and permanent houses for all. A good house. A good house is one that is peaceful, clean and safe place to live in. A good house has some special features which are as follow. It has separate rooms for sleeping, bathing, cooking, eating, studying and entertaining guests. It has big doors and many windows that let in fresh air and sunlight. Sunlight kills germs and keeps the room fresh and dry. A good house has wire-netted windows and doors. Wire nets keep flies, mosquitoes, and other insects away. It has an open space like a courtyard or veranda inside and a lawn outside. They are used for playing, family meetings, and celebrating festivals. A good house has strong walls and high roof. Thick walls and high roof keep the house cool in hot days. A good house has a properly covered drainage system for the disposal of wastewater. A good house has no stagnant water inside or around it. Stagnant water attracts flies and mosquitoes. They breed in it and spread many diseases such as malaria, filaria, chikungunya, and dengue. A good house has a dustbin that is kept covered with a lid. We should throw all the waste in it. People who build a house. Take a walk in your colony and carefully look at a construction site. You will find that many people work together to construct these buildings. An architect draws the plan of a house. A mason lays the bricks of the walls. A carpenter makes doors and windows. A plumber fits water pipes and other fittings. An electrician fits switches and sockets and does wiring. A painter paints different parts of the house. Chapter 16. Bridges. Bridges and buildings are important features of the modern age. Construction of bridges started hundreds of years ago, but the bridges constructed today are an excellent specimen of architecture and engineering. Bridges. A bridge is a structure that is built over a river, road, or railway line. It allows people and vehicles to cross from one side to other. Constructing a bridge is a very complex process and requires several skilled and unskilled laborers. It takes a few months to several years to construct a bridge depending upon its size and length. All of them have to work together as a team to construct a bridge. Architects make a design for the bridge, keeping in mind the gap to be bridged, the kind of traffic or land it is meant to carry, and the raw materials available. Engineers and supervisors supervise the construction process. Types of bridges. There are different types of bridges. Let us study about some of them. Traditional bamboo bridge. These are temporary bridges usually constructed in villages or at places which receive heavy rainfall. These are easy to construct but are not very safe. Logs of trees and bamboos are used as pillars for support. Bamboo or flat wooden pieces are tied to these pillars using ropes. Beam bridge. It is the most commonly found and the oldest type of concrete bridge. In this type of bridge, a beam or a horizontal structure rests on a support on either end. In olden days, it was made of wood, but now beam bridges are made up of steel and concrete with many pillars for support. Cantilever bridge. It is similar to a beam bridge. It has support from only one end. For example, Howrah Bridge in Kolkata, India. Arc bridge. The name arc bridge is derived from its peculiar semicircular shape. These bridges are stronger than beam bridges. In olden days, these bridges were made up of bricks and stones, but now concrete and steel are used. Example, Sydney Harbour Bridge in Australia. Suspension bridge. In this type of bridge, the roadway is suspended with the help of cables. No ground support is used in this type of bridge. It is freely suspended in the air. Two steel cables called main cables are hung from towers on either side of the bridge. They carry the load of the bridge. There are a number of small cables called hanger cables inside the main cable. For example, Golden Gate Suspension Bridge in San Francisco, the US. Chapter 17. Water is life. All the living things need water to stay alive. There is no life on earth without water. Water is present in almost all the things we eat and drink. It is also present in the body of all the animals, plants, and human beings in varying quantity. About 70% of human body is made up of water. The shortage of water in our body causes dehydration. Our body needs a minimum of 6 to 8 glasses of water every day. Sources of water. Rain is the main source of water on the earth. When it rains, some water goes into rivers, streams, lakes, and ponds, which finally reaches the seas and oceans. They act as sources of water to us. Some rainwater goes under the ground. This is called underground water. We draw this water through wells, tube wells, or hand pumps. The level of underground water is called water table. The water table varies from place to place. In summer, the water table gets low as water evaporates very fast and is used up a lot during this season. In the rainy season, water seeps down the soil and there is less evaporation due to high humidity. So, the water table remains high. Oceans and seas are big water bodies, but we cannot use their water because it is very salty, making it unfit for any purpose. How water gets polluted? Water can dissolve many substances in it. That is why we use it for cleaning and washing. Cleaning and washing makes water dirty. When this dirty water flows into the rivers, ponds, and lakes, it makes the water of these water bodies dirty too. The dirty water is also called polluted water. Water is polluted through many ways. Some of these are given below. When we wash our clothes and take bath in a river or pond, water gets polluted. When we wash or bathe our animals in the river or pond, water gets polluted. Wastes from sewage and factories flowing into rivers make water polluted. Water gets polluted when we throw garbage into water bodies. If anybody urinates or defecates near a source of water, the water becomes polluted. Consuming polluted water can cause diseases like gastroenteritis, cholera, jaundice, and typhoid. So, we should treat water to make it safe for drinking. Removing impurities from water. Many substances do not get completely dissolved in water. These substances are insoluble in water. They only get mixed with water. Insoluble impurities can be removed by the following methods: sedimentation, decantation, filtration. Sedimentation, the process in which heavy insoluble impurities in water are left undisturbed to settle down, is called sedimentation. The impurities that settle down at the bottom are called sediments. Decantation, the process of separating clean water from the top of sediments, is called decantation. The clean water on the top is called decant. Filtration, the process of separating insoluble impurities from water using a filter, is called filtration. Storing water. Clean water is likely to get polluted if not stored properly. Some of the ways to store water are as follow. We should always use a clean container to store water. We should keep the container covered. The container used for storing water must be washed and dried regularly. Saving water. Water is precious. We should not waste it. We can save water and use it more judiciously by the following ways. Take only as much water as is required. Taps should not be left open in the bathroom or the wash basin. Use a bucket and a mug to have bath or to wash vehicles. Never keep the tap open while brushing your teeth. Get the leaking taps and pipes repaired immediately. Pour the leftover water in the plants. Water left after washing vegetables can be used for mopping the floor. One of the most effective ways to conserve water is rainwater harvesting. The rain falling on the roof during monsoon is collected into underground storage tank, deep pit or well, and is stored there for later use. It can be used for watering plants, washing clothes, dishes, and other household activities. Recycling of water is another method by which we can save wastage of water. Used water from factories and houses is sent for cleaning. It is then pumped into the sea or returned to a river. This river water is again taken out and used. Chapter 18. Forms of water. Water is the only liquid that exists in all the three states of matter. These are solid, liquid, and gas. In the solid state, it exists in the form of ice or snow. In the liquid state, it exists as water that we use for many purposes every day. In the gaseous state, it exists as water vapor or steam. Water changes its form with heating and cooling process, that is, it changes its form due to change in temperature. Ice or solid, water or liquid, water vapor or gas. Ice on heating becomes water, water on heating becomes water vapor on cooling becomes water, and water on further cooling becomes
Ice. When we put our clothes out in the sun to dry, the water from the wet clothes changes slowly into water vapor. As a result, our clothes get dried up. Put some water in a glass. Add a few ice cubes into it. After some time, you will see drops of water beginning to form on the outer side of the glass. These are water vapors in the air which turn into water droplets on touching the cold glass. The change of water into water vapor is called evaporation. The change of water vapor into water is called condensation. Evaporation and condensation take place all the time in nature. They form a cycle known as the water cycle in nature. The water cycle. The sun heats up the water in the rivers, ponds, lakes and seas. This water changes into water vapor and rises up in the atmosphere. High up in the sky, this water vapor comes in contact with cool air. It cools down to form tiny drops of water. These tiny drops of water join together to form clouds. On further cooling, the clouds become heavy and drop the water on the earth as rain. This process is known as precipitation. The rainwater runs back to fill the rivers, ponds, lakes and seas. Again, the same process is repeated. This is the water cycle. Evaporation and condensation also play an important role in the formation of some other forms. Dew. On every cold nights in winter, when air touches cold surface, the water vapor in it condenses to form shiny drops. These shining drops are called dew. You can see dew on leaves, flowers, and grasses in an early winter morning. Frost. When air comes in contact with something extremely cold, the water vapor in it freezes to form tiny ice crystals called frost. In very cold places, frost can be seen on window panes of houses and cars. Fog. On winter nights and mornings, when air touches dust particles just above the ground, the water vapor condenses on these particles to form fog. It is difficult to see even a few meters ahead when there is fog. Snow. When air passes through a very cold region like high above the mountains and hills, the water vapor condenses directly into ice crystals. Instead of water drops, ice crystals fall on the earth as snow. Hailstones. When ice crystals pass through very cold region, they join together to form ice balls. They fall to the ground as hailstones. Hailstones cause great damage to crops, plants, and even houses and vehicles. Rain, dew, frost, fog, snow, and hailstones all affect the weather. Life in water. The world under the water is completely different. There are mountains and valleys, forests of plants, and many amazing animals. Have you ever seen an aquarium? It displays different kinds of fishes found in the river or sea. Starfish is a unique sea creature with 5 arms. Some sea creatures are gentle and friendly, but others are fierce hunters. Sharks have sharp teeth with which they hunt and eat other sea animals. Dolphins, on the other hand, are very gentle and playful creatures. They are the most intelligent of all the sea animals. Thousands of different kinds of fishes and other organisms live in the sea. They have different shapes and sizes. Whales are the biggest animals in the world. Although they look like fish, they are mammals. There is also a great variety of freshwater fishes in the Chapter 19. Clean Environment. The word environment means everything that surrounds us. It includes both the living things and non-living things. Living things include plants and animals, and non-living things include air, water, rocks, soil, and sunlight. All the living things depend on non-living things. For example, plants depend on air, water and sunlight to make food. Animals, including human beings, need air, water and sunlight for survival. Since we get almost everything we need from our environment, we must keep it clean. Over the years, human activities have brought many harmful changes in the environment. Disposal of waste materials carelessly in the environment that harms humans and other living things is called pollution. The substances that cause pollution are called pollutants. Waste. Anything that is no longer useful is called waste. Waste includes torn papers, old toys, broken utensils, used pack, vegetable peels, etc. More waste is produced by people living in cities and towns than by those living in villages. This is directly related to their lifestyle. People in cities use a lot of packed items in the form of Tetra packs and other packets to lead a luxurious life. Thus, they generate more waste. People in the villages lead a simple life and have lesser requirements, hence generate lesser waste. Waste is a problem. You know the quantity of waste produced at your home every day? Now you can imagine how much waste is produced in your locality and your city. It has become a great difficulty to dispose of such a huge quantity of waste every day. Disposal of waste carelessly leads to pollution of land, water, and air. Insects and animals gather around waste thrown on land. Stagnant and dirty water is a breeding ground for mosquitoes, resulting in the spread of diseases. The waste released into water bodies without proper treatment pollutes the water, adversely affecting aquatic plants and animals. Drinking polluted water can cause diseases like typhoid, cholera, and jaundice. Burning the waste material causes air pollution. Breathing polluted air can cause diseases like bronchitis and asthma. Hence, it is important to dispose of garbage in a harmless way. Biodegradable and non-biodegradable wastes. Wastes like fallen leaves and flowers, papers, vegetable peels, fruits that rot easily and mix with the soil are called biodegradable wastes. Wastes like metals, glass and plastics that do not rot and hence do not mix with the soil are called non-biodegradable waste. Segregation of waste. Biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste should be separated before disposing them off. The best place to start this is at home and in school. You should keep a green bin to dispose of biodegradable waste and a blue bin to dispose of non-biodegradable waste. Waste disposal. The waste produced in houses and offices is collected by the garbage collector and thrown in large garbage dumps located in different places in all localities. A municipal corporation truck collects the waste from these dumps and takes them to be disposed of so as not to create pollution. The process is carried out in the following way. A garbage collector collects garbage from door to door. The garbage is dumped at local garbage dumping site. The cranes of municipal corporation load the garbage in trucks. The trucks carry the garbage and dump outside the town or city. The heap of garbage is leveled by bulldozers or rollers. Landfill. Landfill is a low-lying area away from the main city. Garbage collected from cities is dumped into landfills. Gradually their level rises. Once the landfill is full, it is covered with soil. Later it is converted into a park. Managing waste. We can control pollution by managing waste. There are different ways in which we can dispose of waste. Biodegradable waste should be dumped into pits. The waste are covered with soil and can be made slightly moist by adding water. This waste rots and gets converted into manure, which can be used for plants. This process is called composting. Compost can be mixed with soil in gardens and parks as natural nutrient for plants. Garbage can also be burned. However, though they prevent the breeding of germs, they also cause air pollution. We know that garbage can also be dumped outside the city at special landfill sites. But in most of the cities and towns nowadays, there is not enough space to make new dumping grounds. Therefore, it is important to find a better solution to manage waste. There are 3 important things that need to be practiced to control the problem of waste disposal. These are the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Reduce. The more we consume, the more waste we produce. We should think of ways to reduce waste while we shop, work, and play. We can reduce waste by reducing the number of things we use. We should buy goods that have less packaging. We should buy goods that are durable and long-lasting. We should take fresh food and not packaged food. We must carry a cloth bag while shopping. We should buy only those things that we need. Reuse. We can find new uses for things that we generally throw away. We can reuse plastic bottles, jars, containers, and glass. We should use steel or good quality plastic lunch boxes that can be washed instead of using aluminium foil. We can tear old clothes and use them as napkins. We can make art and craft materials from old paper, cartons, etc. We can reuse envelopes and gift papers. We can use cloth napkins, handkerchiefs, or hand towels instead of paper tissues and paper napkins. Recycle. Recycling is the process of converting used items into raw materials and making new products. In order to recycle, we need to separate waste into things that decompose and those that do not decompose. Shopping bags, paper, boxes, cartons, clothes, etc. are some common things made by recycling goods. Scrap dealers take away things that can be recycled and used in factories as raw materials.
Chapter 1. My Family. Parents and their children together make a family. A place where members of a family live together is called a home. All the family members love, care, and help each other. They often play and have fun together. There are mainly 2 types of families: nuclear family and joint family. A family that consists of parents and 1 or 2 children is called a nuclear family. A nuclear family is a small family. Today, most of the families in towns and cities are nuclear families. A family that consists of parents, grandparents, uncles, aunts, and their children is called a joint family. A joint family is a big family. These days, joint families are rarely found in cities. Importance of a family. In a family, we get love, care, help, and support from family members. Our first learning process begins in our family. We celebrate good times and festivals together. Our family always stands by us and helps us in times of need. The members of a family help each other in different ways. Parents work hard to earn money. They take good care of their children and advise them on different matters. Children help their parents in keeping the house neat and clean. They also help their parents in household work. They obey and respect their parents. Your mother as a child. If you ask your mother about her childhood, she will tell you how things have changed
over the years. We all change as we grow older. Our looks, likes, dislikes, habits, tastes, ways of thinking, and dressing also change over time. When your mother was a child, she must have lived with her parents, brothers, and sisters. She grew up, completed her education, and got married to your father. Where do babies come from? All the living things produce young ones of their own kind. This process is called reproduction. All the living beings reproduce so that their kind does not end or die out. Some animals like fish, birds, frogs, snakes, and insects reproduce by laying eggs. Young ones hatch out of the eggs. Human beings, dogs, cats, cows, lions, and tigers give birth to their young ones. These animals are called mammals. In human beings, the baby grows inside a bag-like structure called mother's womb. The baby stays inside the mother's womb for about 9 months. During this period, the baby gets food, oxygen, and water from the mother's body through a tube that joins the mother to her baby. The birth of a baby is a great moment in a family. The family members welcome the baby with a great joy. During the initial stage of the baby's growth, the baby depends only on the mother's milk. Just as our parents take care of and look after us, all the other animals also look after their babies. Adoption. Some people do not have any child of their own. Such people can take a child who is not born to them. This process is called adoption, and such a child is called adopted child. The parents who adopt the child are called the foster parents. The foster parents love, take care, and take responsibility of the adopted child as their own. Adoption is a legal process. One can adopt a child from an orphanage. The children who have no parents or family live in an orphanage. Chapter 2. My Extended Family. All the persons who live with you at your home make an immediate family. If you live in a joint family, your immediate family would include your parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins. If you live in a nuclear family, your immediate family would be your parents and siblings. Your extended family includes all your family members or close relatives, uncles, aunts, and cousins who do not live with you. Look at this family tree, which shows John's extended family. This is his father's side of the family tree. Grandfather, grandmother, George uncle, Rebecca auntie, Sam Sharon, Benny auntie, Vincent uncle, father, mother, John, Mary. In the family tree, we can see generations of the extended family. Generation refers to people born almost at the same time, having similar age. In the family tree, John and his siblings and cousins belong to one generation, preceded by that of his father's and grandfather's generation. An extended family includes the members from two families, paternal family and maternal family. Paternal family. A paternal family includes the family members on the father's side. Father's father is called grandfather. Father's mother is called grandmother. Father's brother is called uncle. Uncle's wife is called aunt. Father's sister is called aunt. Uncle or aunt's children are called cousins. Maternal family. The maternal family includes the family members of the mother's side. Mother's father is called grandfather. Mother's mother is called grandmother. Mother's brother is called uncle. Mother's sister is called aunt. Children of uncle or aunt are called cousins. Special family occasions. The members of an extended family may live in the same city, another city, or another country. They meet on special occasions like festivals, birthdays, and weddings. Living near or far, they share their joys and even sorrows together. The members of an extended family keep in touch with each other through letters, phone calls, video calls, and emails. Family traditions and values. Rituals and practices passed on from one generation to the next become family traditions. Most of the families follow and like to preserve their traditions. Values and traditions can differ from family to family. We should respect the values and traditions of our family as well as those of others' families. Learning from family members. We learn a lot from our family members. Some of these learnings are as follow. We learn to share problems and help each other in difficult times. We learn the beliefs, practices, and traditions of our family. We learn moral and good values from our family. We learn to share our joys and sorrows with our family members. We learn to perform and share our duties and responsibilities. We learn to live in peace and harmony. Decision making in a family. In a family, grandfather or grandmother is usually the head of the family. Everyone in the family respects and obeys them. On most of the occasions, they take important decisions. In the process of decision making, all the family members should participate actively. Opinions of all the family members must be considered while taking an important decision. Chapter 3. Feeling around with sense organs. We have 5 sense organs. These are eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. Our sense organs help us know and feel the world around us. They are sometimes called the windows of our body. The sense organs pass on information to the brain with the help of nerves. The brain acts fast on the information received and gives immediate orders for the right action. Let us learn about the sense of touch, sense of smell, and sense of vision. Sense of touch. Our skin helps us touch and feel. By touching, the skin can feel heat, cold, pain, or pressure. The skin is the largest organ of the body. It has millions of tiny sensors called nerve endings. They give information to the brain about the things that come in contact of the skin. Some parts of our body are more sensitive than the others because they have more nerve endings. For example, the tips of our fingers are more sensitive than our arms. We use our sense of touch to group things according to the way they feel. We can tell whether a thing is hard or soft, rough or smooth, hot or cold, just by touching it. Good touch and bad touch. How do you feel if someone hits you or slaps you? How do you feel when you get a hug or you get a pat on the back? Do you ever feel uncomfortable when someone touches you? We should always keep away from those people whose touch makes us feel uncomfortable. Tell your parents, elders, or teachers about it immediately. They can guide and help you keep yourself safe. Sense of smell. Our nose helps us smell things around us. In fact, the nose can differentiate among 10,000 different smells. There are thousands of nerve endings in the inner part of the nose. Actually, what we smell are tiny bits of particles floating around in the air. As we breathe in, these particles enter the nose through the nostrils. They stick to the nerve endings that send signal to the brain. The brain then identifies whether the smell is good or bad, and we respond to it accordingly. Our sense of smell is a matter of personal choice. Some of us like the smell of garlic, fish, or mustard oil, but some of us find their smell very strong and unpleasant. Some people are allergic to certain smells and may even get sick on smelling them. Most of us find the smell of perfumes, flowers, and room fresheners very pleasant. Almost all of us agree that a dead rat, human excreta, or an open gutter has a foul smell. Sense of vision. Eyes are one of the most important sense organs. They help us see and identify things. Each eyeball is fitted into an eye socket. Eyeballs are protected by the eyelids and eyelashes, which prevent dust and dirt from falling into our eyes. The colored circle in the eye is iris. The front part of the eye is covered with a transparent part called the cornea. The black spot in the center of the iris is pupil. Light enters the eyes through it. A sensory nerve called the optic nerve connects the eye to the brain. The brain produces a three-dimensional image of whatever the eyes see. We can see where a thing is and how far it is from us. We can also see how fast something is moving. When there is dim or no light, we cannot see much at first. Eyes take some time to adjust in the darkness, and slowly objects start getting visible. Differently abled people. All our sense organs work together to let us sense and feel the world around us. However, there are some people who cannot hear or see. To know and sense their surroundings, these people have well-developed sense of smell and touch. Such special people are called differently abled people. People who cannot see are called visually challenged people. They use their acute sense of touch to read and write. They use a special script known as the Braille for reading. The Braille system was devised by Louis Braille in 1824. Louis Braille was himself a visually challenged person. Braille script is a special kind of code where 6 raised dots are arranged in a particular pattern for every letter of alphabet. Visually challenged people read them by moving their finger on the raised dots. People who cannot hear are called hearing impaired. They use a special sign language to communicate. Chapter 4. Fun and Games. When you take a break from your daily work and do something that gives you pleasure and enjoyment, it is called recreation. Such activities give us new energy to resume our work again. Let us learn about some popular ways of recreation. Play. Playing games is as important as studying for growing children. They refresh our body and mind. Playing games is one of the most important recreational activities. Games can be divided into 2 categories: indoor games and outdoor games. Indoor games. Games played inside a house or a closed area are called indoor games. Indoor games include games like carom, chess, ludo, Scrabble, and snakes and ladders. Outdoor games. Games played outside in the open are called outdoor games. Outdoor games include games like cricket, football, hockey, kabaddi, basketball, and badminton. Rules of games. All the games have some basic rules and regulations. Before we play a game, it is important to know the rules of playing it. We should include everyone in the game. There should be no discrimination between boys and girls. It is also important to have a winning spirit, but it does not mean that you should be unfair in playing. Foul play and breaking rules are unsporting and ruin the true spirit of the game. In some games, there are umpires or referees who ensure that the games are played in a fair way. Given below are some rules that should be followed in any game. Respect other players, officials, and follow all the rules. Consider the decision given by the referee or umpire as final. Keep patience and wait for your turn. Do not quarrel for your turn. Do not use any trick to defeat your opponents. Do not involve in any foul play. Be friendly with your opponents. Just play your part in the game. Do not take over others' responsibilities. If your opponents win, congratulate them. If you win, do not mock the other team. Entertainment. Other than games, there are a few activities that provide us entertainment. Let us learn about a few of them. Folk dances. Folk dance is a form of dance that reflects the history and traditional life of the people of a certain country or region. People express the joy of a wonderful harvest, a festival, or the happiness in worshipping their gods and goddesses by performing folk dance. Folk dancers often wear colorful costumes and special ornaments for their performance. Garba, Bihu, Chau, Bhangra, Ghumar, and Dandiya are some of the folk dances of India. Puppetry. Puppetry is a form of folk performance that uses puppets. Puppets are small human or animal figures made with paper, cloth, and wood. Puppets are generally controlled by puppeteers who speak or sing from behind the screen. Kite flying. Kite flying is a popular game in India. On Independence Day, people fly kites all over the country. People in Gujarat fly colorful kites and organize kite flying competitions on Makar Sankranti. In Punjab, people fly kites on Lohri. It is believed that the Chinese were the first to use kites to send and receive messages, some 3,000 years ago. With the passage of time, kites became popular in different parts of the world. With some practices in the pleasant breeze, one can fly a kite easily. Drama. A drama is a live performance of a story or a poem on the stage. The people who act various roles on the stage are called actors. A drama creates a strong bond between the audience and the actors through the use of interesting dialogues, lights, shadows, and music. Circus. The circus is an important place of recreation. It is organized in a big field enclosed by a large tent. We see acrobats, jugglers, clowns, animals, and various other performers in the circus. They entertain the people in various ways. The acrobats jump and perform somersaults. The jugglers toss rings and balls in the air. The clowns make the people laugh with their funny dressing, jokes, and acts. All the performers wear colorful costumes. Wonderful performances keep the people entertained. Chapter 5. The Journey of Food. Food comes from two sources, plants and animals. Majority of our food items come from plants. We get cereals, pulses, vegetables, fruits, spices, oils and beverages like coffee, tea and cocoa from plants. Foods from plants. Let us learn about these plant-based food items in detail. Cereals. Cereals are also called food grains. Rice, wheat and maize are the main cereals. They are rich source of carbohydrates and fibers. Wheat is usually ground to flour. Flour is used to make bread, roti and buns. Rice is the staple food in many parts of our country. Maize is taken as healthy snack or breakfast cereal. Pulses. Pulses, also known as lentils, include arhar, moong, masoor, urad, rajma and chana. They are rich source of proteins. Proteins are body-building nutrients. Children need a lot of proteins because they are in their growing stage. Vegetables. Vegetables are an important part of our daily diet. They are full of vitamins and minerals. They protect us from many infections and diseases and keep us healthy. We eat different parts of plants such as roots, stems, leaves, and fruits as vegetables. We eat roots of carrot and radish. We eat stems of potato and onion. We eat leaves of spinach and cabbage. We eat fruits of tomato and lady's finger. Fruits. Fruits are also rich in vitamins and minerals. Different fruits grow in different seasons. Some fruits are juicy while some are dry. Some fruits have seeds while others do not have seeds in them. Juicy fruits: apple, mango, orange, grapes. Dry fruits: almond, walnut, cashew nut, pistachio. Spices. Spices are fruits, seeds, leaves, bark or roots of certain plants that have strong smell and taste. They add color and improve taste and flavor of the food. Spices also help us digest the food better. Pepper, clove, turmeric, cardamom, cumin, and mustard seeds are some commonly used spices. Oil. Oil used in cooking is extracted from seeds of some plants. These seeds are called oil seeds. Oil seeds are crushed to get oil. Mustard, sesame, soya bean, sunflower, olive, coconut and groundnut are the most commonly used oil seeds. Oils are rich in fats. Beverages. Beverages include tea, coffee and cocoa. Tea, also called the queen of beverages, is obtained from leaves of tea plants. Coffee and cocoa are obtained from seeds or beans of coffee and cocoa plants. We also get sugar from plants. It comes from sugarcane. Food from fields to home. Have you ever wondered how cereals, fruits, vegetables and spices reach your home? The chart given below traces the journey of food from the farm to our plates. We know that most of the food that we eat consists of cereals, pulses, spices, oil, fruits, vegetables, apart from animal products. Farmers grow cereals, pulses, spices, oilseeds, fruits and vegetables in their farms. Fishermen catch fish from rivers and seas. Dairy workers and herders raise cattle and other animals to obtain various animal products. From farms, the farmers send their produce to the wholesale markets in trucks, vans, or in trains depending on the distance up to which the product has to be delivered. Farmers grow cereals, pulses, oilseeds, spices, fruits and vegetables. They send some part of their produce to the wholesale markets in towns and cities in trucks or other vehicles. Some of the farm produce goes to the factory for processing. After that, processed food items are packed and sent to the wholesale market. Shopkeepers buy the food items from the wholesale market. They sell these items to us. And finally, we cook and eat the food. Chapter 6. Having Food Together. India is a huge country with varied climatic conditions and soil types. So, varieties of food grains, vegetables, fruits and spices grow here. This is the main reason why food habits of people living in different parts of our country vary. Food eaten in different regions. Let us know about the food habits of people living in different regions of India. North Indian food. In Kashmir, almost all the dishes are prepared with rice, for example, rajma rice, modur pulao, etc. In Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh, chapati is the staple food. Foods such as dal makhni, sarson ka saag, kadhai paneer, etc. are favorite food items of the people of this region. West Indian food. A variety of lentils are grown in Gujarat and Rajasthan. So, dal, dhokla, phapda are common food in these regions. People in Rajasthan add lots of spices to their food. Fish is a common food in coastal areas. Pav bhaji, vada pav, vindaloo, etc. are other famous West Indian dishes. East Indian food. Fish and rice is the staple food of the people of West Bengal. Sweets prepared using milk like the rasgulla, sandesh, cham-cham and many more are very popular in West Bengal. People of Northeast generally eat rice, fish and meat. South Indian food. In South India, fish and coconuts are commonly used in most of the dishes. In Kerala, some of the delicious dishes are lamb stew, uttapam, fried prawns, idli dosa, fish moli and rice puttu. Special dishes for festivals. People in India celebrate many festivals. On festivals, they prepare special dishes for family and friends. Let us learn about some of the special dishes prepared during festivals. Makar Sankranti. During this festival, the most commonly eaten food is sweets called the laddu, made with sesame seeds and jaggery. Rice is cooked with milk and jaggery. Pongal. Pongal rice is prepared in Tamil Nadu on the festival of Pongal. It is a sweet dish made from rice, milk, jaggery, coconut pieces, etc. Holi. Delicacies eaten during this festival include malpua, homemade bread soaked in sugar syrup, puran poli, unleavened white bread stuffed with jaggery and baked on a griddle, and gujia. They are first offered to the deity and then served to everyone throughout the day. Durga Puja. Moong dal khichdi, mixture of dal and rice, charchari, mixture of various vegetables, payesh, kheer, and tomato chutney prepared by Bengalis are the highlights of this festival. Diwali. Sweets are made on a large scale on Diwali. Kaju katli, son papri, barfi, laddu, and gulab jamun are some of the sweets associated with Diwali. People greet each other and exchange sweets and gifts. Eid. Sevaiya is the special dish prepared on Eid ul-Fitr. Vermicelli is cooked in milk, flavored with saffron and dry fruits. On Eid ul-Zuha, Bakrid, meat-based dishes such as biryani are made and served. Community meal. Food forms an important part on every special occasion. In fact, no celebration is complete without food. Be it a wedding, a festival, a party, a birthday, or a housewarming celebration, food adds to the festivity and fun. When a large number of people eat food from a common kitchen, it is called community meal. People enjoy community meal on birthdays, weddings, and parties. Community meal is either prepared by community members or by trained cooks. Community meal is also served on certain festivals. Langar is organized on Gurpurab in Gurdwaras. It was started by Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Similarly, Bhandara is organized on Hindu religious festivals like Navratri and Ram Navami. People of all the religions, regions and castes distribute as well as eat food in the community meal. Charity, social equality, and community service are the main objectives of the community meal. Meal at boarding schools. Some students study in a school where they live in its hostel. Such schools are called boarding schools. In boarding schools, all the students sit together and eat food in a large dining hall called hostel mess. They are provided with fresh, properly cooked and hygienic food. They have a fixed menu for the week. The hostel warden and housemaster make sure that the students eat properly and finish their food on time. Midday meal. The midday meal program was introduced in all the government-run elementary schools to provide children with a healthy and nutritious lunch. Tamil Nadu was the first state in India to introduce this scheme. The program has been introduced so that children from poor families can have at least one proper balanced meal in a day. Children belonging to poor families cannot afford to bring healthy lunch every day. The government, therefore, started this scheme where all the children get a nutritious lunch. Chapter 7. Tongue and Teeth. Tongue. The tongue is a muscular organ inside our mouth. It helps us taste food and also speak. The tongue is covered with reddish bumps called papillae. The papillae are made of many taste buds. There are nearly 10,000 taste buds on the tongue. Each taste bud is connected to the brain with tiny nerves. The nerves carry message from the tongue to the brain within seconds. Our brain then tells us the taste and decides whether we like it or not. The taste buds on the tip detect sweet taste and those at the back detect bitter taste. The taste buds at the sides of the tongue detect sour and salty tastes. Besides tasting food, the tongue also helps us move and swallow food. Teeth. Our teeth give proper shape to our face and help us in speaking clearly. Clean and shining teeth make our smile charming. But the most important job of the teeth is to chew the food that we eat. Teeth break the food into smaller pieces and help in proper digestion of the food. Humans grow 2 sets of teeth in their lifetime, milk teeth and permanent teeth. Milk teeth are also known as baby teeth or primary teeth. These teeth appear and fall very early in life. By the time a baby is born, the milk teeth are already formed deep inside the jaws. They start appearing when the baby is around 6 months old. There are 20 milk teeth, 10 in each jaw. They begin to fall by the age of 6. Milk teeth are replaced by a new set of permanent teeth. The first permanent teeth appear when a child is 6 or 7 years old. There is a set of 32 permanent teeth, 16 in each jaw. These teeth are bigger and stronger than the milk teeth. Kinds of teeth. The shape and size of various teeth differ from each other. Different teeth serve different purposes. Sometimes we eat soft food and we do not have to chew it for a long time. But sometimes we have to grind or tear food between our teeth. We therefore have 4 types of teeth. These are as follow. Cutting teeth. Cutting teeth are used for cutting and biting the food. There are 8 cutting teeth in our mouth. These teeth are called incisors. The 4 front teeth in each jaw are the incisors. Tearing teeth. Tearing teeth are called canines. These teeth are sharp and pointed and are used for tearing the food. There are a total of 4 canines in our mouth, 2 in the upper jaw and 2 in the lower jaw on each side of the incisors. Crushing teeth. Premolars or crushing teeth are the teeth next to the canines. They are stronger and wider than other teeth. There are total 8 premolars, 2 on each side in both the jaws. They help in crushing and grinding food. Grinding teeth. Grinding teeth or molars grind our food. Grinding changes our food to a soft paste which is easy to swallow. They are present next to the premolars at the back of the mouth. These teeth are broad and flat. There are 12 molars in our mouth. The 4 molars that grow at the age of 17 to 25 are called wisdom teeth. Kinds of teeth. Incisors. Upper jaw 4, lower jaw 4, subtotal 8. Canine. Upper jaw 2, lower jaw 2, subtotal 4. Premolars. Upper jaw 4, lower jaw 4, subtotal 8. Molar. Upper jaw 6, lower jaw 6, subtotal 12. Total 32 teeth. Teeth in animals. Have you ever noticed the teeth of a cat, dog, cow, or any other animal? If yes, are they similar to ours? Most of the animals except birds have teeth depending on the kind of food they eat. Animals eat food in many different ways. That is, they bite, swallow, chew, grind and tear food. Inside structure of their mouth and teeth are suited to the type of food they eat. Some animals eat only plants. They are called herbivorous. Herbivores such as cows, antelopes, camels, goats and deer eat grass. They have sharp and flat front teeth to bite the grass and stems. Their back teeth are broad and strong. This helps them chew and grind their food well. Have you ever observed a cow or buffalo after it has eaten its food? Its mouth constantly chews for a long time. These animals have a strange habit. At the time of grazing, they swallow all their food without chewing it. Later they bring it back to the mouth and chew it slowly and properly. This is called chewing the cud. The elephants are also herbivorous. They have the largest pair of teeth, the tusks. The tusks are actually the incisors located in their 2 upper jaws. These teeth, in name only, jut outward to form tusks which are not used for chewing. They are used both as a tool as well as a weapon for digging and fighting. Elephants have 4 massive molars, one in each of their 2 jaws, that are used for grinding their food. Some animals eat the flesh of other animals. They are called carnivorous. Lions, tigers, cheetahs, leopards and wolves are carnivorous. Carnivores tear and chew the flesh of other animals. Their front teeth are used to bite and hold their prey. Their canines are very long and sharp to tear the flesh. Their back teeth are flat to chew the flesh. Snakes have teeth, but they do not tear or chew their food. They swallow their prey whole. They have a small mouth, but when they have to swallow a large animal, the jaws separate and their mouths become very wide. Lizards and frogs do not have teeth. They swallow their food without chewing. They have a long, sticky, dart-like tongue so that they can catch flies and mosquitoes. Turtles and tortoises also do not have teeth. Animals that gnaw at their food are called rodents. They have very sharp and narrow teeth to gnaw at seeds, nuts, etc. Squirrels, rabbits, hares, mice and rats are some rodents. There are some animals which eat both plants and meat, like humans and black bear. Such creatures are called omnivorous. They have a combination of sharp front teeth and grinding teeth at the back. Chapter 8. Birds, Beaks and Claws. Birds are wonderful creatures that can fly. We see different kinds of birds around us. They vary in size, appearance, flight patterns, and other characteristics. Bird watching is a popular hobby. People who study about the birds are called ornithologists. In fact, human beings got the inspiration of making aeroplanes from the birds. Beaks, feet, and claws of birds are naturally designed to suit their habitat and food habits. Beaks. Birds have beaks instead of teeth. They have different kinds of beaks. Different shapes and sizes of beaks are suited to the kind of food they eat. They use their beaks to peck, bite, hold food, and look for their food in the ground, on trees, or in water. They also use their beaks to collect grass, twigs, and other things to build their nests. Some birds use their beaks to smoothen and clean their feathers by applying natural oil from their oil glands. This is called preening. Let us learn about different kinds of beaks in birds. Short, hard and pointed beaks. Birds such as pigeon, sparrow and peacock have short, hard and pointed beaks. Such beaks help them crack open seeds, grains and nuts. Long and slender beaks. Birds such as hummingbird and sunbird have long and slender beaks. They mainly feed on nectar of the flowers. Their beaks work like straws to suck nectar out of the flowers. Strong, sharp and hooked beaks. Birds such as eagles, hawks, falcons and owls have strong, sharp and hooked beaks. Such beaks help them tear flesh. These birds kill small animals and birds for food. So they are also called birds of prey. Curved beaks. Parrots have curved beaks. Such beaks help them crack nuts and seeds and eat hard fruits. Their beaks also help them climb up the tree branches. Chisel-shaped beaks. Woodpeckers have chisel-shaped beaks. These birds drill holes into barks of trees with their beaks to catch insects and worms. They also make holes in the tree trunks
to make their nests. Soft, broad and sticky beaks. Swallows have soft, broad and sticky beaks. When swallows move round and round in the air, they keep their beaks wide open to catch insects from the air. Flat and broad beaks. Ducks and geese have flat, broad beaks with teeth like edges for straining food out of water. They take in muddy water into their beak, strain the fish, worms and insects and throw off the mud and water through the holes on their side. Feet and claws. Birds use their feet and claws to catch food and to protect themselves. They also use them to perch firmly on branches. The feet and legs of birds are covered with scales. Birds have 2 to 4 toes on each foot. Claws on their feet are used for grasping the prey, for perching, for scratching the ground, or for fighting. Let us learn about the types of feet and claws of some birds. Birds such as eagles, hawks, kites and owls have very strong and sharp claws. Their claws are called talons. They catch, hold and eat their prey with the help of these talons. These birds are also called birds of prey. Crows, sparrows and mynas have 3 toes in front and 1 toe at the back to curl around the branch. These toes help them perch on the branches. They are therefore called perching birds. Hens and quails have strong feet with 3 toes in front and 1 short toe at the back. These toes have sharp claws to scratch the ground. Therefore, these birds are called scratching birds. Woodpeckers and parakeets have 2 toes pointed upwards and other 2 downwards. These toes help them climb and clinch onto the branches and hold the food. These birds are called climbing birds. Ducks, swans and geese have webbed feet. They have 3 toes in front and 1 at the back. The front toes are joined by skin called a web. The webbed feet help them paddle in water. These birds are called swimming birds. Cranes, herons and flamingos have long feet with toes spread out. These feet and toes help them to wade through muddy water and walk on soft soil. These birds are also called wading birds. Chapter 9. Animal Habitats. Animals are found everywhere. They are found in jungles, grasslands, hills, mountains, oceans, and deserts. The place or area where animals live is known as their habitat. In order to survive, animals have to adjust themselves to their surroundings and habitat. The process of adjustment of animals to their habitats is called adaptation. Animals have special features to adapt to their habitats. On the basis of the kinds of habitats, animals can be divided into 5 groups: terrestrial animals, aquatic animals, amphibians, aerial animals, and arboreal animals. Let us learn about the special features that enable these animals to live in their habitats suitably. Terrestrial animals. Animals that live on land are called terrestrial animals. Most of the terrestrial animals have strong legs that enable them to walk and run on the land easily. They have well-developed brains that enable them to think and take quick decision. They have well-developed lungs also to breathe in air and sense organs to know about their surroundings. To survive in harsh conditions in a desert, camels have many special features for adaptation. The camel lives in deserts
where there is little water, it can lose up to 1/4 of its body weight in water without showing any distress. It can go without water for many days. The camel has padded feet that do not sink in sand. It has double rows of eyelashes that protect its eyes from the sun's heat and sandstorms. Lions and bears live in caves called dens. Rabbits, moles, mice, and hares live in burrows in the soil. Snakes live in holes in the ground. Small creatures like earthworms, beetles, snails, and other insects also live in the soil. Terrestrial animals like polar bear, musk ox, and Arctic fox in cold areas have thick fur on their body that helps them to bear the extreme cold. Aquatic animals. Animals that live in water are called aquatic animals. Fish, crab, lobster, and turtle are some examples of aquatic animals. Special features help them live in water. They have gills to breathe, fins or paddle-like limbs to swim, waterproof bodies, streamlined body. Starfish, octopus, crab, seahorse, and turtle live among the rock pieces at the bottom of seas and oceans. Crabs and lobsters are protected by hard shells. They roam near the seabeds. Water birds like ducks, cranes, and flamingos make nests near water. They have waterproof feathers to protect their bodies. Amphibians. Animals that live both in water and on land are called amphibians. Frogs, salamanders, toads, and newts are some examples of amphibians. Frogs, salamanders, and newts have moist skin to breathe in water. They also have well-developed lungs to breathe on land. The hind legs of frogs and toads are stronger than their front legs to jump or hop on the ground. Aerial animals. Animals that can fly in the air are called aerial animals. Birds and bats are some examples of aerial animals. Let us learn the special features of birds that help them fly in the air. The body shape of a bird is like an aeroplane. Such a shape helps it cut through the air easily. The bones of birds are hollow and light. They help them keep their body floating in the air using less force. Every bird has a pair of wings. Wings help them fly and glide through air. Birds have strong flight muscles. They are attached to the bones. They move the wings up and down during flight. They have a very strong heart that supplies continuous blood and therefore the required level of oxygen to them during the flight.
Arboreal animals. Animals that spend most of their time on trees are called arboreal animals. Monkeys, squirrels, opossums, and tree lizards are some examples of arboreal animals. A monkey has a prehensile tail. This type of tail helps it grasp tree branches. It also helps the monkey hang upside down. The chameleon can move its eyes in different directions at the same time. It also has a long sticky tongue to catch insects from a distance. Squirrels have strong legs to help them leap, climb, hang and run fast from one branch to another. Camouflage. Camouflage means the ability of an animal to change its color to merge with its surroundings, making it difficult to be spotted by its prey or enemies. Let us see how some animals use camouflage. A chameleon can quickly change its body color according to its surroundings. Giraffes have a coat that helps them hide themselves from their enemies. Stick insects look like sticks or twigs of the trees on which they sit. making it difficult for other animals to spot them. Zebras have stripes on their bodies that help them merge with the grass and vegetation around it. Animals in danger. In spite of so many features of adaptation, many animals are facing the danger of extinction from the earth. The reasons for this include diseases, climate change, destruction of their habitats, and too much of hunting. Some animals which are officially recognized as endangered animals are lemur, panda, armadillo, cheetah, flying squirrel, orangutan, and gorilla.
Chapter 10. Parts of a plant. Plants are living things and they have many parts. If you look at a plant, you will find that a part of it remains under the ground. This part is called the root. The other part remains above the ground. This part is called the shoot. Both are important for a plant's survival and growth. The root. The root is the underground part of a plant. We usually cannot see it. There are two types of roots, taproot and fibrous root. Taproot. When the main root grows from the end of the stem and many small roots branch out from it, it is called a taproot. Taproot is thick and grows deep into the soil. Plants like radish, turnip, carrot, bean, mustard, and neem have taproots. Fibrous root. When a number of roots of nearly equal size grow from the end of the stem, they are called fibrous roots. They grow at the level of the ground. Plants such as wheat, rice, onion, maize, and grass have fibrous roots. Roots carry out the following functions. They fix the plant firmly to the soil. Without roots, a plant would fall to the ground. They absorb water and minerals from the soil, which are then sent to other parts of the plant. Some roots, such as those of carrot, radish, and turnip, store food. We eat these roots as food. Special roots. Besides fibrous and taproots, there are some other roots that carry out special functions. Let us learn about them. Propagative roots. Propagative roots have buds close to the surface of the ground. These buds grow into new independent plants after separating from their parent plants. Propagative roots are found in cherry and strawberry. Water-storing roots. Water-storing roots store water, making it easier for the plants to survive long in dry summer months or regions. Pumpkin and gourd have water-storing roots. Buttress roots. Buttress roots are big roots that grow in all the sides of a tall tree. Such roots are found in huge trees of tropical rainforests. In these forests, soil is poor, so roots do not go deep inside. They prevent the plants from falling over and help them take in more nutrients from the surrounding surface. Breathing roots. Plants that grow in marshy areas have breathing roots. In such places, there is clay soil which remains waterlogged and does not contain sufficient air. So, spongy roots grow above the soil to get air from the atmosphere. Breathing roots are found in mangrove. Prop roots. Some plants such as banyan, peepal, and ficus send down the roots from their stems or branches to the ground. These roots are called prop roots. Most of these roots reach the ground and get attached to the soil to provide additional support to the plant. The shoot. The shoot bears stems, leaves, buds, flowers, and fruits. Some plants have soft and green stems, whereas some plants have thick and strong stems. The hard stems of trees are called trunks. Functions of a shoot are as under. It supports the plant and keeps it upright. It also bears branches. Leaves, flowers and fruits grow on these branches. The most important function of the stem is to carry water and minerals up to the leaves. The leaves use these water and minerals to make food. The food prepared by the leaves is again carried by the stem to different parts of the plant. The figure given on previous page shows how water and food travel up and down the stem. The stems of some plants store food in them. We eat such stems as part of our food. Plants like potato, ginger and arbi have these types of stems. These stems are also called underground stems. Flowers. Flowers are the most beautiful part of a plant. They are found in a variety of patterns, shapes, sizes and colors. Some flowers have a pleasant and sweet smell. Flowers have been used since ancient times as ornaments of beauty and for decoration during festivals and celebrations. Flowers grow into fruits, thus they help the plant reproduce. Parts of flowers. The various parts of a flower are represented in the adjacent picture. Petals are the colorful parts of a flower. The petals of the flower are closely packed together when the flower is a small bud. When the bud grows in size, the petals of the flower open up. Sepals are the small green parts at the bottom of a flower. The male part of the flower is the stamen, composed of a thin filament, and the bean-shaped anther where pollens are present. The female part of the flower is the pistil, composed of the stigma, thin styles, and ovary. Flowers and insects. Visit a garden which has many flowers. Observe the flowers closely. What do you see? Can you see insects sitting on the flowers? Small birds like hummingbirds and insects like honeybees and butterflies are attracted to flowers. When a butterfly or a nectar-feeding bird sits on the flower, pollen grains attach to its body. When it goes to the other flower, these pollens get transferred to its stigma, thus helping the flower in pollination. It helps in the formation of seeds. Honeybees live in hives. These hives are made of beeswax and consist of hexagonal cells. Each beehive may have more than 50,000 bees. There is only one queen bee. Worker bees and male bees called drones are also parts of a beehive. Honeybees gather pollen in the baskets they have on their hind legs. They store the nectar in their honey stomachs. When they go back to the hive, they spit out all the nectar into the cells of their hive. The cells are sealed with the wax that their bodies produce. Soon the nectar turns into honey, which is stored as food for the bees. Humans learned to domesticate animals in ancient times. Animals have always played an important part in our life. They give us food, wool, leather, etc. They also help us in our work. Let us learn about some domestic animals and how they help us. Riding animals. Some animals are used to carry people from one place to another. These animals are called riding animals. People still use carts pulled by animals like horses and bulls to travel or to carry goods in villages. In hilly areas, donkeys, horses, mules and ponies are used to travel from one place to another. Camels are also used as a means of transport in the deserts. Even today, elephants, camels and horses are used to give joy rides to people in towns and cities. We often see them in fairs, marriages and festivals. Horse carriages, commonly known as tanga, are still seen in cities. They are a great tourist attraction. These carriages may be pulled by two or a single horse. They usually have only two wheels. Pack animals. Animals like camels, bullocks, donkeys, ponies and mules that carry load on their backs are called pack animals. They are also called beasts of burden. Pack animals are commonly used in deserts, forests and mountains where there are no pakka roads. Heavy logs of wood or fallen tree trunks are carried or pulled by elephants in forests. In the mountain ranges of the Himalayas and high hills, yaks are used to carry goods. Donkeys, mules and ponies are also trained to carry goods over long distances. Draught or harness animals. Animals that pull carts, plow fields, draw water from wells, using a water wheel, etc. are called draught or harness animals. Animals like oxen and bullocks are some examples of draught animals. Some other uses of animals. Some animals are used on special occasions. In many parts of North India, the bridegroom rides on a mare to reach his wedding venue. Elephants are used for temple procession and festival celebrations. Elephant and camel rides are a great tourist attraction in wildlife sanctuaries and forts. Not only are these rides comfortable, but they provide a good view of the surroundings also. A sledge is just a small flat cart made up of wood or metal. It does not have wheels. Sledges are used only in areas where surface is covered with snow all the time. The sledge is drawn by a group of reindeer or strong dogs called huskies. Only 1 or 2 persons can travel on a sledge at a time. Taking care of animals. Like us, animals are also living beings. They also get tired and feel pain like us. But unlike us, they cannot speak to express their sufferings or feelings. We must be sensitive towards them and take care of their needs. Some ways to take care of animals are given below. Beasts of burden should neither be given very heavy loads to carry, nor should they be beaten to work more. Animal shelters should be kept clean and comfortable. Proper food and clean water should be given to them regularly. Animals should never be hurt or teased. Injured or sick animals should be taken to a veterinary doctor for treatment. Chapter 13. Mapping the neighborhood. Drawing of directions that helps us locate a place is called mapping. Many a time when you enter a colony, you might have seen its layout displayed on a board somewhere at the entrance. Such a drawing helps us locate our destination in the colony easily. Drawing can be of 2 types, sketches and maps. Sketches. A sketch is a rough drawing of any place without using a scale. It is an image of a specific place on imaginary or vague ideas. It is usually drawn roughly without any accurate measurements to locate any destination approximately. Maps. A map is a drawing of an area on a flat surface. Maps help us locate places easily. They give us a large variety of information such as roads, railways, hills, mountains, plains, rivers, valleys, cities, countries, and continents. We can make maps of varying sizes according to our need.
A book of map is called an atlas. Signs and symbols, legends, directions and scale are the components of a map. Signs and symbols. A map is always drawn on a limited space. We cannot show all the features in their actual size on it. Therefore, we use some signs and symbols to represent various features on a map. These signs and symbols are also called the language of a map. To understand the information given on a map, one must be familiar with the signs and symbols used in it. Some of the conventional signs and symbols used in maps are given above. Legend or key. A legend or a key tells us what the colors, patterns and symbols used in the map represent. It is usually given in a small box within the boundary of the map. Directions and landmarks. The knowledge of directions is very important for studying a map. If you look at a map, the top of the map indicates the north and the bottom shows the south. Towards the right is the east and towards the left is the west. These are also called cardinal directions. In addition to these 4 major directions, there are 4 sub-directions. These are located between north and west called northwest, between north and east called northeast, between south and west called southwest, between south and east called southeast. Directions are always measured from the north. All the maps follow a uniform way of showing the directions. Landmarks are very important reference points that help us locate a place. They can be a hospital, a mall, a school, a railway station, etc. Scale. We cannot represent the exact distance between 2 places on a map. However, we can accurately represent the distance between 2 places on a map. A scale on a map helps us know the actual distance between 2 places. It has centimeter marks shown on a straight line, each of which represents kilometers or square kilometers on the actual ground. For example, on a map, 1 centimeter may be equal to 100 kilometer. Thus, using this scale, we can get to know the actual distance between 2 places. Chapter 14. Travel and Currency. Traveling to different places gives us a wonderful experience. We travel to different places for different reasons. Some travel for work, some for studies, some for holidays, and some go to meet their family and friends, visiting different parts of India. When we go on a long journey, we come across different land features called landforms. Some areas have distinct physical features, climate, soil and vegetation, which are known as geographic regions. There are plains, hills and mountains, plateaus, deserts, seas and islands. Plains, mountains, plateaus and islands are important landforms. Plains. A plain is a low-lying flat land. Many rivers flow through the plains. The rivers deposit silt on their banks and make the plains rich and fertile. The northern plains of India are formed by the silt deposits of the Ganga, the Yamuna, the Satluj, the Brahmaputra and their tributaries. They cover the states of Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal and parts of Assam. A wide variety of food crops are grown here. The staple food of these regions is rice and wheat. Jute and sugarcane are other major crops. In plains, women generally wear sari and salwar kameez and men wear dhoti kurta, pajama, shirt and trousers. Hills and mountains. A hill is a high land
with a pointed tip. A mountain is a very high hill. Mountains have cooler climate than that of plains. Mountains have steep slopes and some of very high mountains are covered with snow. The pointed top of a mountain is called a peak. A row or a chain of mountains is called a range. The Himalayas form the world's highest mountain range. There are many states found in the Himalayan region. The Himalayas can be divided into Himadri, Great Himalayas, Himachal, Middle or Lesser Himalayas, and Shivalik, Lower Himalayas. Hill stations like Shimla, Mussoorie, Nainital, Almora, and Darjeeling are located in the Himachal range. The region has thick forest consisting of pine, fir, deodar, and oak trees. The lower slopes have orchids and tea plantations. Pahari and Hindi are the two main languages spoken in the Himachal region. Men wear dhoti, kurta and caps. The women wear kurta, salwar, ghagra and choli. In Kashmir, special types of embroidered shawls and clothes are worn. Non-vegetarian food is cooked with spices like cardamom, cinnamon and cloves. They also eat pulses and cereal. Deserts. Deserts are the dry regions which receive a little or no rainfall at all. The Great Indian Desert, also known as the Thar Desert, is located in the western part of India. The desert covers a major part of the state of Rajasthan. The desert region is very dry and sandy. Dust storms are common here. The summer months are very hot and the winter months are cold. Similarly, days are very hot and nights are cold. Due to scarcity of water, not too many plants grow there. Plants that require little water, such as cactus, kikar, and babool, grow in the desert region. Farmers here grow crops like jawar, bajra, wheat, barley, and maize. Milk, buttermilk, and butter are used to prepare Rajasthani food. Dried lentils and beans obtained from native plants like sangria and gram flour are commonly used in Rajasthani dishes. The most popular foods are pakodi, gatte ki sabzi, and dal bati churma. People mostly speak Marwadi and Hindi. People wear very colorful clothes in Rajasthan. Men usually wear dhotis, kurtas, and a turban to cover their heads. Women wear very colorful ghagra cholis. Mirror work and bandhani are very popular crafts of Rajasthan. The state boasts of many beautiful forts, places, and havelis. Plateaus. A plateau is a raised part of land with a relatively flat top. It is also called a tableland because of its table-like shape. The region is rocky and uneven. The state of Jharkhand lies on the Chota Nagpur Plateau. Jharkhand has many beautiful national parks and wildlife sanctuaries such as the Hazaribagh National Park, Betla National Park, and Jaivik Udyan. The region is very rich in mineral resources like coal, iron, and copper. Santali, Kuruk, and Hindi are the main languages spoken by the people in this region. The tribal men wear a one-piece cloth called bhagwan. The non-tribal men wear dhoti, kurta, and pajama. Women wear saris and tribal women wear traditional clothes called panchi and parhan. Rice, litti chokha, sattu, and dhuska are the popular food items in this region. The region south of the northern plains up to the southern tip of India forms the Deccan Plateau. It is bounded by the Western Ghats in the west and the Eastern Ghats in the east. Islands. An island is a piece of land surrounded by water on all these sites. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands in the Bay of Bengal and the Lakshadweep Islands in the Arabian Sea are the two main groups of islands in India. Lakshadweep group is made up of 36 islands. Malayalam is spoken on all these islands except in Minicoy, where people speak a language called Mahal. The people of Lakshadweep wear simple clothes, while the islanders of Minicoy wear colorful clothes. Men wear lungis and women wear kashis. Kashi is a rectangular piece of cloth worn around the waist. Women cover their upper bodies with a tight-fitting full-sleeved jacket. Fishing is an important means of livelihood. A large variety of fish are available here, and they form an important part of the local diet. Coconut and its products are also used for cooking. Coastal regions. Regions located along the seas or oceans are called coastal regions. Goa, located on the western coast of India, has a pleasant climate. It is neither too hot nor too cold throughout the year. This is due to the cooling influence and the nearness to the sea. Fishing is an important part of livelihood. Meat, fish and seafood are important parts of diet. Coconut and its products are used for cooking. Goan prawn curry, bebinka and chicken xoctica are popular dishes of Goa. People speak the Konkanese language as well as English and Hindi. Paying for travel. Whenever we travel by any means of public transport, we have to buy a ticket for it. While traveling on a local bus, we buy the ticket from the conductor on the running bus. We buy train tickets from a railway reservation office or a railway station. Tickets of aeroplane can be bought from airport or travel agents. Nowadays, we can buy tickets of bus, train and aeroplane using internet. For a long distance, bus, train and aeroplane journey, a ticket is bought before we board the bus, train or aeroplane. We pay money to buy tickets. Money. Every country has its own unique currency. We use currency notes and coins to purchase goods and services. Money made of paper is in the form of currency notes. Money made of metal is in the form of coins. The Indian currency is known as the rupee. Its symbol is the Reserve Bank of India has the sole authority to issue currency in India. It changes the design of the currency notes from time to time. Coins. The Government of India mints coins in the denominations of 1 rupee, 2 rupee, 5 rupees and 10 rupees. Ask your grandparents which coins they used when they were children. They used a variety of different coins that are no longer in use. Currency notes. A currency note is the paper currency that has two faces. On one face, the value of the currency is written in both figures and words. On the same face is the signature of the Governor of the Reserve Bank of India. The picture of Mahatma Gandhi is printed on every Indian currency note. On the bottom left or right of the Indian currency note is an emblem. It is the national emblem of India and appears on every note and coin. The emblem is a replica of the lion capital of Sarnath erected by Emperor Ashoka. There is some blank space left on every note. If you hold it up to light, you will see a face there. This is called a watermark. This design helps people identify a real currency note from a fake one. The face value of a note is written in many languages. Take any rupee note and count their numbers on. How many languages are there? Every note has its unique code number and the signature of the Governor of the Reserve Bank of India. Chapter 15. Houses, Then and Now. We all need a house to live in. Our house protects us from heat, cold, rain, insects, thieves, and wild animals. A house gives us a stable and comfortable life. We keep our valuables and other belongings safe in our house. The early humans had a permanent house. They used to live in crevices, caves, or on tree branches. With the passage of time, they learned to make houses from materials like animal skin, wood, leaves, mud, and dried grass. Most of the houses were built near the rivers. Houses in early times. In the past, most of the people lived in forests and villages. They built kacha houses. Such houses were very easy to make. They were usually made by family members together. With the invention of bricks, humans began to build strong houses. These houses had separate rooms. There was a lot of space in the front and the back of a house. There was a country yard at the center of the house, and the rooms were built around it. There was a huge veranda or corridor running around the house. Even though it was a pakka house, some part of the house was plastered with mud, especially the kitchen area. Every morning before the cooking started, the walls, floor and chulha of kitchen were smeared with a mixture of cow dung and mud. It was believed that this practice kept the kitchen free of insects and flies. Even though there were no fans, coolers or air conditioners, one did not feel very hot during summers because of the high ceilings and ventilators, the small window-like openings near the ceiling. Part of the house had a flat roof to work as the terrace, and some part of the house had a sloping or tiled roof. The kitchen and the toilet were built at a short distance from the main building so that smoke or unpleasant odor would not disturb people in the living area. The kitchen had mud chulhas where cow dung cakes, coal and wood were used as fuel. So, it often got smoky and full of soot inside the kitchen. Bathing areas were separate from the toilets. Water had to be either drawn from the well or pumped out with the help of hand pumps. Men and children usually bathed near the well. For lighting, every house would use diyas, oil lamps or lantern at night. Bonfires and coal fireplaces were used to keep room warm during winters. Houses in modern times. Today, most of the houses are small with 2 or 4 rooms. The concept of joint family system has been replaced by nuclear family system in cities. Both in villages and cities, housing pattern has changed a lot. Houses in villages. In India, we still find a lot of people living in rural areas in kacha houses. These houses are made of mud, straw, leaves, wood and bamboos. The floors are coated with clay and cow dung. However, people with good economic status in villages have pakka houses.